I'm Sister Theresa Berlin. I am a consecrated hermit in the Archdiocese of New Orleans, and what that basically means is that I've taken vows to my bishop to live according to a rule of life that he has approved. And basically it's a life of solitude and prayer. But my rule of life calls me to live in the solitude and the prayer, but then to embrace with the heart of Jesus that love of the world, and to go forth into the highways and byways with that love. That's kind of where I went, and I began by just riding a little mail Jeep. And you're only talking about maybe once a week for a few hours. I would just drive through and say hello to the people on their porches or the ladies on the street, and we'd pray or share little religious booklets, or if I had a bag of onions or whatever someone had given me through God's providence, just to share it. It was basically just making contact, familial contact. The ministry is called the Blue Stand. It's really the Holy Family Hospitality Hermitage. And the Blue Stand is just a little concrete building in the middle of a wonderful African-American neighborhood. And so the idea is that when someone comes in, you welcome them, you greet them. We usually try to form a circle of some sort. And so what basically will happen is that we will usually have a time of prayer, a time of song. We'll take something either from the scripture or a spiritual writer, and somebody will read a little piece, and then we'll all reflect on that. And then we may do some activity, some service activity, if the place needs to be clean, or work in the garden, or pick up trash, or whatever. As we continue to come together as a family consistently, then we have opportunities, and that earns us the privilege to go forth as a family into the larger community, and field trips and service trips to the local parish or church. But God's love comes in many ways. I would say when I was about 12, there was just a real deep experience of His intimate, personal love for me. And then I think at that time came a real, a tangible relationship that also meant sharing His love, sharing His heart with others. That the best way to love Him back was to be a transmitter in some way of His love to the world around me. Well, the Holy Scripture, St. Paul gives us the answer. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not jealous. Love is not rude. Love is not prone to anger. Love is always seeking the truth. There's no end to love's trust, to its endurance, to its hope, and love never fails. So no, love is not always a gushy feeling. Love is doing what is right. Love is, first of all, being loved by Him who is perfect love. We do not have love to give on our own, but it comes from Him who is perfect love. And how did He show that perfect love? He stretched out His arms on the cross. He gave up the glory of heaven. He came to dwell among us. He did all the humble labor of everyday life. That's love. And I have to say, it's a leap of faith and trust. I hope and pray that what I'm doing is certainly a manifestation of God's love. I know that I see His face looking back at me 1,000,000 times over through the beautiful people that He's in love with, that He allows me in some way to be a tangible manifestation of that. And how do I do that? Hopefully by being patient, by being kind, by being loving, by being merciful, by forgiving, by not brooding over injuries, by all of those things that He says so plainly in the Holy Scripture. And so, and the thing about God's love, it's not that we have to be in a certain vocation to be a lover of God's people. Wherever you are, that is where God is calling you to love. So if you're a businessman, you're going to have to be that love right there. And that love to your wife, to your children, to your extended family. But all of us, in some way, there's none of us who are not in the highways and byways of society And you can't be fully who you are or reach your full potential without being a lover of mankind.